live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello, good evening. Come to you live from the National News Studio. Welcome to the news. I'm Leopard.
And I'm Kasini Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Containers were cleared following proper methodology, says Sri Lanka Customs. Investigations on an incident involving the illegal use of the presidential pardon. 4 persons die while bathing in a tank at Aralaganvilla, Timbulagala. All facilities to be provided for devotees visiting Anuradhapura during the Poson week. Various functions today to mark World Ocean Day. An artificial breeding program for the leopard endemic to Sri Lanka. A candidate in the Colombian presidential election critically injured in a firing. Sri Lanka win 2 medals at the Taiwan Open Athletics Championship.
We move on to those and other stories in detail. In your top local story tonight, Sri Lanka Customs says that it completely rejects the published news causing harm to the fame of Sri Lanka Customs regarding the release of 323 imported containers.
Well, media spokesman of Customs Sivali Arugura at a media briefing held in Colombo today emphasized that the release of containers has been conducted according to proper procedure. A severe congestion regarding the clearing of imported containers at the Colombo harbour during the last January had occurred due to the limitations of customs facilities and increase in the number of import containers. Accordingly, since 34 ships which arrived at the Colombo harbour left it, causing a danger of a serious threat to the economy of this country, steps were taken to clear containers according to the procedure by establishing a screenery unit under the leadership of senior management of Sri Lanka Customs. In order to provide solutions to the situation, the media spokesman of Customs Sivali Arugura points out that action would be taken to clear 60% of containers imported in accordance with internationally accepted methodologies without proper inspection. The media spokesman Sivali Arugura says that around 1,500 to 3,000 containers are being cleared through the port daily. There is no possibility to check all containers and clear them. Clearing a container without a proper check is not a new thing for the customs, since 2 to 3 months cannot be spent in order to search and clear containers. In order to solve this, high-risk containers are separated and containers having items with a low risk are being cleared without proper checking. He added that importers and industrialists were benefited under this procedure, and the diversion of ships was also stopped, thus reducing the harm caused to the economy of the country. The screening unit procedure was followed before 2020 and was continued since July 2024. He pointed out that this method can be adopted in the future also in case of similar situations arising. Sri Lanka Customs practice methodologies accepted worldwide, he said. The Customs media spokesman said that items such as arms, gold and narcotics were not found inside the controversial containers. The media spokesman Sivali Arugura emphasized that most of the imports were from India and China, and clearing of these containers and documents of the institution concerned were inspected by the concerned committee. He also said that if anyone says that those containers consisted of arms sent by Tamil diaspora, the same is thoroughly rejected. There is no possibility of finding arms under the methodology adopted by Customs.
ආයුධ මේක තිබුණා කියලා ඒක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් මම ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරනවා. අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන ක්‍රමවේදය අනුව එසේ එවැනි ආයුධ හෝ වෙනත් දෙයක් තිබීම හැකියාවක් නැහැ.
According to Sri Lanka Customs, a post-clearing auditing has already been implemented regarding concerned containers. The media spokesman Sivali Arugura further says that containers were cleared by a committee consisting of customs officials after deciding and determining factors. No interference happened from any party involved in the process. He added that it will be able to confirm 100% that only the declared items to the customs were there in the containers after the completion of the investigations conducted by the audit department and of course the CID.
Minister of Public Security Ananda Vijaypala says that investigations have revealed that a prisoner connected to financial crimes was released outside the list of the presidential pardon approved by the president. The minister also told the media after a ceremony in Anuradhapura that investigations are being carried forward in this connection. Minister of Public Security Ananda Vijaypala said that information has been revealed pertaining to the prison taking action to release inmates connected to many financial crimes, and the prison was engaged in such activity without receiving the approval of the presidential pardon. The minister further said that there is a serious offence and the president's additional secretary has already complained in this connection and investigations have already commenced. Meanwhile, the Police Media Division informs through a media release that the Department of Criminal Investigations has commenced an investigation over the illegal release of inmates by misappropriating the presidential pardon during the previous Vesak season. A program was implemented to grant presidential pardon for prisoners on account of the Vesak festival of 2025, according to the powers vested upon the president under the constitution. The president's office has forwarded a complaint to the CID on the 6th of this month pertaining to granting illegal pardon to several prisoners in addition to the pardon granted to other prisoners. According to the investigations being conducted regarding the complaint, a statement had been recorded through interrogation of the Commissioner General of Prisons. The media release issued in this connection further says that the Commissioner General of Prisons will be further questioned and statements recorded after inspection of the records. The CID will conduct a probe against all officials connected to this issue as well as prison officials over the illegal granting of presidential pardon for the release of prisoners. It has also been reported that similar illegal releasing of prisoners through presidential pardon had taken place on previous occasions. Investigations will be conducted into the past incidents as well. Acting Superintendent of Police F.U. Woodler said that CID investigations are being conducted against all prison officials and other officials connected to the issue over the illegal releasing of prisoners under the cover of presidential pardon. He added that even in previous occasions as well, prisoners were released under the presidential pardon without the approval of the president. The Acting Superintendent of Police further said that investigations will be continued regarding these incidents.
4 persons who had gone to Pahala Leopard tank for bathing have drowned. According to our correspondent, there are 3 females among the dead. A 27-year-old male and 3 females aged 13, 25 and 30 years respectively have drowned in this incident, according to Arlaganville Police. They faced this tragic end when they had gone to a relative's residence in Alibaba area from Ratmalana when they had gone to the tank to bathe, and 3 females are reported to have jumped into the tank and when they noticed that the male victim was drowning in the deep area of the tank. Accordingly to initial investigations have revealed that drowning in the efforts to rescue the male person, Arlaganville Police is conducting investigations. Well, the National Poson Committee says all facilities are being provided to the devotees who are arriving in Anuradhapura during the National Poson Week.
The committee is requesting from all to act in a manner without causing harm to the environment. May the world be enlightened by the teachings of Lord Buddha is the theme of this year's National Poson Festival. It is expected that around 2 million devotees would participate in the upcoming Poson Festival, centering Anuradhapura, Mihintale and Tantirimale. The police has taken measures to implement a special security and traffic plan for the Poson Festival. Accordingly, around 3,500 police officials have been deployed on duty. In addition, around 150 police life-saving officials have been assigned for duty, especially at bathing places. Special train services will also be operated in connection with the Poson Festival from Colombo Fort to Anuradhapura and also between Colombo Fort and Kankasanture. In addition, intercity train services which are being operated on the 9th, 10th and 11th to and from Colombo and Kankasanture will be conducted on daily basis during the Poson week. Meanwhile, the North Central Provincial Education Department has decided to keep closed 12 schools around Anuradhapura, Mihintale and Tantirimale towns until the 12th of June. The schools to be closed are Anuradhapura Central College, Swarnapali Girls School, Vivekananda Vidyalaya, Valisingha Harishchandra Vidyalaya, Mahabodhi Vidyalaya, Zahira College, Devanampiyatesa Vidyalaya and Nivantaka Chaitya Vidyalaya. In addition, the Mihintale Central College, Kamala Kulama Vidyalaya, Patiraj Tenakon Vidyalaya and the Tantirimale Vimalanyana Vidyalaya will also be kept closed until the 12th of June.
A special program was conducted in Anuradhapura today for school children with the objective of molding a law-abiding citizen through social ethics. Well, this program was organized under the Clean Sri Lanka program. The objective is to create an attitudinal change in the minds of school children who are in fact instrumental in placing the initial steps in the process of changing society. A special program will get underway from today until the 12th of this month in connection with the Poson week in parallel to the Clean Sri Lanka project for building of Sri Lanka under the theme Beautiful Country, Thriving Nation. These programs will be conducted at the Surapura Outdoor Theatre in Anuradhapura. These programs will help to enhance the artistic talents, including drawing skills of children. The program will help to understand what the children expect from society. Special workshops, lectures and poetry shows will be conducted. Such programs would become a catalyst for the Clean Sri Lanka program as well. An open invitation has been extended for all children in the area to join the program.
Today is the World Ocean Day. The day is celebrated on the 8th of June every year by a number of countries in the world, marking the importance of oceans worldwide. More than 100 countries have joined in observing the World Ocean Day, demonstrating the importance of oceans worldwide for the future of humans since 1992. This concept was initially proposed by the International Centre for the Development of Oceans in Canada in 1992, along with the Institute of Oceans of that country at the Earth Summit of the United Nations Environment and Development held at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The world leaders were requested to come together in order to protect 30% of world's oceans by 2030. At the World Ocean Day celebrations held in 2020, the step has been taken with the hope of fighting against climatic changes and to protect the marine biodiversity. A large number of countries have come together today to commemorate the World Ocean Day, realizing the importance of ocean conservation along with the problems faced by oceans in the world at present. The World Ocean Day national program of the country was held today at the beach area of the port city Colombo under the leadership of the Minister of Environment Dr. Dhammika Pattabandi and Deputy Minister Anton Jacode. The theme of this year has been Let Us Protect the Ocean Which Protects Us. Several items were held including exhibition sales and intellectual discussions on ocean pollution, drawing competitions and other educational and exhibition aspects. The program was jointly organized by the Ocean Environment Conservation Authority, Clean Sri Lanka National Program, the Ministry of Environment and allied institutions. Minister of Environment Dr. Dhammika Pattabandi said that enough attention was not paid during the past for ocean environment conservation. Although necessary international agreements were entered into, the legal framework required for its implementation was not properly followed. A proper mechanism was also not developed in this context. The challenge of building a mechanism required to implement the necessary laws in a short period of time still exists. The minister also pointed out that the mediation of the Ministry of Environment with the assistance of everyone will be carried out. More stories on the other side of this break.
Prima Kottumi, Fantamai.
Welcome back, and in more local stories, Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says necessary measures will be taken to provide an exceptional health service to the people in the Anuradhapura district by developing all regional hospitals in Anuradhapura.
Well, the minister has made these remarks during an observation tour of regional hospitals and also health institutions in Anuradhapura. The main source of living of the majority of people in the North Central province is agriculture. The minister added that special attention of the present government has been focused on extending necessary health facilities to the people in the province at the maximum level. The aim of the health ministry is to carry forward in a more vibrant basis the existing programs being implemented to control and also treat kidney disease prevailing in many areas in the North Central province. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa has inspected the Galnava Regional Hospital and also many other institutions as well.
An artificial breeding program of the leopard species endemic to Sri Lanka commenced recently by the National Zoological Department in Pinnavela. The Sri Lankan leopard, under the scientific name Panthera pediscotia, is an endemic species of leopards to Sri Lanka. The species had been named as faced with extinction since 2020. The leopard population of the country is suspected to be less than 800 at present. Leopards can be found in the dry zone as well as in the hilly areas, and it is called Kandukarakotia. Kandukarakotia is at comparatively larger in size to the leopards of the dry zone. At present, there are 5 leopards found from hilly areas with the National Zoological Department, and 3 of them are kept at the Pinnavala Open Air Zoological Park. Although facilities have been provided for the natural breeding process of these animals to maintain a pool of them, since it has not delivered successful results, Zoological Park authorities have decided to breed them artificially.
Deputy Minister of Labour Mahinda Jayasinghe has returned to the island this morning. That's after attending the 113th Annual General Meeting of the International Labour Organization ILO in Geneva, Switzerland. He said to the media upon return that special attention had been focused at the session on numerous conditions experienced by the labour community as well as on institutional problems. The Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe said that special attention was focused on Sri Lanka at this conference. The Deputy Minister added that a dialogue was conducted regarding a report submitted by a UN representative on child labour in Sri Lanka as well. That was in the year 2022. He further said that meeting that they had pointed out, in comparison to other countries, the practice of child labour is taking place in Sri Lanka at an extremely, relatively low level. However, the necessary legislation has been passed in Sri Lanka to eliminate this problem. The Deputy Minister also said that they have presented facts in depth over the implementation of law in the country, and added that the country remains vigilant if child labour is being used in contrary to the laws.
In celebration of World Environment Day 2025, Sri Lankan actress and Earth Day Network ambassador to Sri Lanka, Michelle Dilhara, took part in a symbolic tree planting ceremony at the India House premises in Colombo. She was joined by the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, and his wife, Tanuja Jha, in this initiative. This year's World Environment Day theme, End Plastic Pollution, highlights the urgent need to combat the escalating crisis of plastic waste. Speaking at the event, Michelle Dilhara emphasized the gravity of the situation, mentioning the world now is drowning under the weight of plastic pollution, with more than 430 million tons of plastic produced annually. 2/3 are single-use products that soon become waste, filling the ocean and often working their way into the human food chain as microplastics, she added. This collaborative effort underscores a shared commitment to environmental sustainability and cross-border solidarity in addressing global ecological challenges.
And we have more local news items in brief. A case of theft of a blue and yellow coloured macaw parrot has occurred on the 4th of this month, which is valued at more than 500,000 rupees, kept in a cage at the Dehiwala National Zoological Gardens. The theft has been recorded on a CCTV camera system installed at a shop in the zoological garden. Later, a security official made a complaint to the Dehiwala police. In the year 2021 also, a parrot kept in the same cage went missing and was later found from a residence in Ratmalana. Norwood Police has taken steps with an order issued by the Hatton Magistrate Court to stop the illegal gem mining conducted, causing a huge damage at the Norwood Fort Tree Estate near Kesselgamu Oya, which flows to Castlereagh Reservoir. An exhibition of ornamental fish and a fair was organized with the participation of several institutions, including the National Aquaculture Development Authority of Sri Lanka and the Nara Institution, and also the exhibition named Tambapanni Min Udyane was held at the Municipal Council in Puttalam. Well, that's news at home. We take a short break. We'll be back with international stories shortly. Welcome back to the news. Moving into the US. US President Donald Trump orders 2,000 National Guard troops that's to deploy to the Los Angeles area in response to escalating unrest. The decision follows a second day of intense protests and violent clashes triggered by a sweeping migration crackdown. Well, the protests, which began earlier this week, entered the second day and were marked by clashes between demonstrators and law enforcement authorities in several areas of the city. This was in response to a series of coordinated immigration enforcement actions across multiple states, leading to dozens of arrests. These actions prompted large-scale responses in cities including Los Angeles, where thousands took to the streets. According to reports, some demonstrators escalated into confrontations with the U.S. police, resulting in scattered incidents of violence. Meanwhile, the president reaffirmed his decision to deploy National Guard forces, stating the move was necessary to support local law enforcement and also restore order. The National Guard was not assigned to carry out immigration duties, but to assist with public safety and crowd control. Carolina state officials, including the governor, acknowledged the protests and called for order. Law enforcement have increased their presence in protest zones and working to maintain order as demonstrators continued throughout the day.
A Colombian presidential candidate is in a critical condition after he was shot at a campaign event in the capital, Bogota. Senator Miguel Turbe was attacked while addressing supporters yesterday. The assault took place in a park as the country gears up for next year's presidential election. Urube, a 39-year-old senator, was shot twice in the head and the chest, according to Colombian authorities. The suspect is a 15-year-old who is in custody. The senator from the Democratic Center, the biggest opposition party in the country, had expressed his intention to run in next year's election. Colombian police have indicated that the suspect was carrying a Glock pistol when he was arrested. Video footage showed the senator giving a speech to a crowd before multiple loud bangs rang out. He was seen lying on the ground as people around him fled. Police and civilians later rushed him into an ambulance. Senator Uribe has entered the critical hours of recovery after undergoing an initial surgical procedure. The attack has drawn condemnation from the Colombian government and the Democratic Center, as well as from former presidents and world leaders. And in your sports news tonight, Sri Lanka has clinched 2 medals at the Taiwan Open Athletic Championship tournament today.
And they included the silver medal in the javelin throwing event and also the bronze medal in the 100 meters men's event. Well, Nadisha Lekamge, representing Sri Lanka, won the women's javelin throw event, securing the second position with a distance of 56.62 meters. The gold medal was won by Annurani of India with a distance of 56.82 meters. The third place taken over by Pin Sung Chu of Taipei, who threw a distance of 53.03 meters. This is Chamo, the Yoda singer, coming third in the race with the timing of 10.30 seconds. The first place was taken over by Joseph Awode of Australia by completing the event in 10.34 seconds. Bruno Dude of Japan clinched the second place with the timing of 10.36 seconds.
男子100公尺决赛正式起跑，我们看到在第2道步枪现在的起跑还不错，那后段的加速是不是能够跟上？不过我们看到中间的包括了 Bruno Dude 很快啊，在第7道 Awade 是不是率先回到终点，还是第4道的 Bruno？ 看一下最后冲线应该是第7道，对，没错，7道的澳洲选手还有Awade。
The rugby match between St. Joseph's College, Maradana and Vidyartha Vidyalaya of Kandy in the Inter-School League Rugby Tournament ended in a draw. The match was played at Mihintalav Rugby Ground in Kandy. Players of both teams displayed their skills throughout the match. St. Joseph's Maradana were leading 7 points to 5 in the first half of the match, and in the second half, Vidyartha Vidyalaya Kandy took the lead with 19 points to 17. After a closely contested match, both the teams were at par with 24 points each, and the match ended in a draw.
Local rugby to international racing. Sri Lankan racer Yevan David delivered an impressive performance that's at the Euro Formula Open Championship in Germany. The young Sri Lankan racer secured third place, a finish marking a key highlight in his 2025 campaign. Well, the German round of the 2025 Euro Formula Open Championship is taking place at the Hockenheim Ring of one of Europe's most iconic racing circuits. Round 2 was won by Mexico's Jose Garfias, who demonstrated the commanding pace and control throughout the contest. Among the most notable drives of the day came from Yaman David. The young Sri Lankan driver showed remarkable consistency, executing clean overtakes and maintaining composure under the sustained pressure. His efforts was rewarded with third place. The 17-year-old plummeted from the 10th place to podium third under racing conditions, which were far from conducive, being wet and slippery.
On that occasion, it's down to 2.7, but now the fastest lap of the race being done by Park 1, 2, 3 with Michael Shin and Yevon David.
Of course, Yevon David still at the
Time on the top step. As a Mexican, a South Korean and a Sri Lankan on the top step of the podium.
Barrett Stack took his first yesterday, and like I said, blows this championship wide open with...
Well done, Sri Lanka, indeed. And on that note, we end the news. Do enjoy the rest of the programs together with Kasuna. This is Clifford, wishing you good night.
Good night.